Nigerians are dancing like South Africans. South Africans are dancing like Nigerians. Well, no, South Africans don't like to dance like nobody. So I'm gonna take that back.
Welcome back to Afrodance School. This is Perspectives. Today I am here with Judith. We are learning about her creativity. We're going to get all the information we can get today. It is not about right or wrong. It is about perspectives. We're just going to get right into it. How did you get into Afrodance? How did it shape your understanding? What brought you into Afrodance culture?
I don't know what Afrodance is. That's still something that's out there that I can see what they say it is. Me learning or growing up in these cultures, I know Niger street style, Kuduro, Amapiano, Ndombolo. I know the styles for what they are and from the countries they come from.
How do you refer to all these genres together?
There are social dances. They're not our traditional styles. Being from a tribe, like for example, I'm a Chiluba woman. I won't go teach somebody else how to dance like that, but Ndombolo will share. Now my piano will share. Niger street style will share. There's a certain way if you go to Nigeria, Igbo people have a certain way that they dance. That identifies who they are. Niger street style is shared across the West African or Nigerian diaspora.
What is your history like with African social dances?
My history with it is very deep. It's one of the places where I truly found my identity and one of the places like set my career. My first take from it was probably like maybe 2006, 2007 when I was first exposed to the music, right? It's coming out of Nigeria and we in South Africa, P Square, but they're doing hip hop. How Usher and Michael Jackson, the moonwalks. At the time, my curiosity wasn't as big yet. I was more focused on the South African style. At the time, it wasn't really Amapiano. It was mainly Kwaito and Sbujo, which were the mother of the styles. My mom's Congolese. Ndombolo is home.
Yeah.
Sukus, that's what we do. I moved to South Africa when I was a kid, 1992, 93. And I was exposed to Kwaito. Before even Sbujo, I was exposed to Nige. I didn't understand the language, but I fell in love. Back in the days in Africa, for you as a dancer or anybody, we really danced in the clubs. It wasn't really a dance studio type of thing in backyards with friends. If you know a lot about Africa, you will know of a club called Shentemba. Shentemba was really the spot. So whether you were in Kinshasa, which is in Congo, or you were in South Africa, because they had a venue in South Africa called Shentemba, a lot of musicians used to come out there. They'll either get a chance to perform or just party. But me breaking into the industry wasn't necessarily with music when it comes to the Nigerian or the Afro world. It was actually with commercials. Mike Dube is a Nigerian director who used to film out of South Africa, Cape Town. He had a casting. I went to the casting and I promised I was stuck with this director for the rest of my life, literally. I'm casting, leads for a Nigerian commercial called Etisalat.
Okay.
Right, Etisalat commercial, which is like, I think it's a cell phone, like T-Mobile, like these type of thing. Or minutes. He had hired me for the Etisalat commercial as one of the leads. I did the commercial, which was great, and I think it went to Nigeria and it did something to where he came back to me and do another commercial, but this time it's for Honeywell. It's Nigerian food. And this was my first exposure to Nigerian traditional dance. They gave me the dance steps because they wanted me as lead, but so they were gonna do whatever. They had a voiceover, somebody else speaking English over it. From there, it just started getting big. They brought me back in a couple of months later to choreograph this time another Etisalat commercial. Nigeria used to have a singing competition. It was like their form of idols. They had all these people flying to South Africa and I had to choreograph. And then one day I'm at home, Mike messaged me, pulled up to the office. I have this young Nigerian musician. He's a really good musician. We're trying to break him through and I want this music video to make an impact. I believe in you. I was training in hip hop, contemporary, and all these different stuff. Kuduro and all those things were things we were doing at the party. I wasn't like doing it professionally to where I could choreograph a full music video with. And he was like, bring your dancers. Great. And I remember casting everybody into this music video. At the time, it was the Azonto era.
Yeah.
Right. So we were not exposed to Azonto because of Ghana. We were exposed to Azonto because of London.
Yeah.
So, Davido's team, DK, who's a phenomenal dancer. DK was showing me all the Niger street style steps. So that was my first exposure to actually Niger street style was because of DK. I started doing, Big Brother Africa, Metro FM Awards, more commercials. I am with the African artists. I'm doing all these different African stuff. At the time, Masters of Rhythm had just come out. We were filming Masters of Rhythm. And this was by dancers for dancers. It was a crew called Clinch Crew. It was a bunch of Congolese guys mixed with some South African guys. my like love them. Probably some of my biggest inspiration as a kid. Clinch Crew came up, they went to a TV network, pitched the show, and here we had Masters of Rhythm, where the best dance crews all over Africa or South Africa had to come live in one house and compete. So many amazing creators were part of it. But before even Masters of Rhythm, we had Mixing It Up, which was something where we were trying to introduce to the world the richness of Africa and how a lot of the foundation of dance in the world comes from Africa. So this was a British Council organization that they brought into Africa, and got to like travel to different cities and put on these shows. Basically, we all were trained. We were trained in gumboot, we were trained in pantsula, we were trained in street jazz, whatever that they needed us to be great at. We were there, I think it was months or weeks, I can't remember, but it happened I think 2 or 3 times. And there was so many different people that were in there just contributing to the art and our growth to expand our minds to where not only do we see Africa, but we saw beyond Africa.
What does home mean to you when it comes to culture?
Culture is my home. I grew up in culture. I grew up, we eat a certain way, we dance, we celebrate a certain way, we mourn a certain way, we protest a certain way. To me, that's culture. That's what makes our dancers. It's very deep, but also it's not. It's very deep if you're not from it and you're learning about it. But if you're from it, you're like, this, it's who I am. It's my people. It's why I speak the way I speak. It's why I eat and do, dress, express, whatever it is. That's culture. That's who I am.
Can you go a bit
100%.
into that?
When you are off culture, it's your identity. Basically, where you grow up, what you're around, how you eat, how you talk, how you celebrate, and how you do things. Niger street style, for example, is not my culture, but it's off culture, meaning 90% of my career was curated by Nigerians, right? Most of my opportunities were given to me by Nigerians. I'm not of their culture. I'm not from their culture, but I'm of their culture. I've taken the time to learn, to study. I've taken the time to live their culture, visit, to understand some of the, pidgin. I can be of the culture, but I'm not from
culture.
Yeah.
Now, let's say learning from culture.
Yeah.
When you're not of culture.
So, for example, African American people say they don't have culture, but they do have culture. And the more I dig in, the more I realize they have their own culture. They have the way that they celebrate things and the way that they do things, and they relate to Africans. Hip hop is mixed with Latino culture too, but hip hop is African American. People don't talk about how big that influenced Africa as well.
Hello.
But then people are like, American people don't have culture. That's their culture.
Yeah.
The way African American people dress, that freedom
culture.
of expression that African American people have, we love it, because when we're able to be ourselves 100%, where if we were home, we'll be vagabond. But in America, that's the culture. They dress and they're free in expression, like forget all the political stuff. But when it comes to like physical identity, they're free in expression. That within itself is a culture. So yeah, that's learning. That's learning a culture. I'm in America and I've learned the American culture. Yeah.
I like that. Can we relate that a bit to dancing? For me and you, we are of culture and from culture.
Yeah.
But there are newcomers into the industry that are learning from culture. What are some of the differences that you've noticed?
Their biggest issue right now is expression in the dance world. Everybody looks the same, with the exception of like 10%. I'm watching, for example, where are you from?
Togo.
Now, we both in America. I see you do Togolese dance. And whatever moves you do, I take those steps. And now I'm going to go teach Togolese dance. I don't know why you do those steps. I don't understand where those steps come from. I don't understand the foundation of those steps. I hear you say it's foundation all the time. I take those steps and I go. Then the next person that I teach does the same thing. And guess what? Now we have 3 people who dance exactly the same. Some off culture, some from culture, some who are visiting the culture. Can you tell me what starts missing now? Identity starts missing. Identity starts missing because the only person who disidentifies is you. The other 2 people have taken from you, but they've not put themselves into these cultures, or they've not put their own expression into these things.
Because
does that
they
make
don't
sense?
Understand.
Because they do not understand. It's okay to dance to anything. Do any dance on social media, TikTok, you call it. When you are a dance educator, you have a responsibility to carry correct information. You have to live the culture in order for you to teach somebody why I say ewe, or why I'm clapping, or why is it that people are getting killed and I'm dancing and singing about those people getting killed. It's not always bad. I'm not talking about a dancer. I'm talking about an educator, a dance teacher. When you are carrying information, you are carrying a culture, you're carrying a nation, you're carrying people's struggle, people's joy, people's identity, and you're taking it from yours to another. Whatever you teach that place is what they're going to remember that culture as. When you carry misinformation or half information, what happens then? Our culture gets diluted.
This is deeper than we experience it.
Yeah.
From the way you're positioning it, culture can be political. It's deeper.
It's very deep. It's really deep. I think we've all been so stuck on, I'm going to capitalize and make money off it, that I don't care if it's not the correct way to share this. I'm making money off it, so I don't care. Oh, what is Afrodance? Oh, those 5 steps? You know how to do the guara? Do a zonto? You know how to? I teach Afrodance. Here's Afrodance. What?
I don't want to sound like I'm blaming anyone.
Yeah.
Where did it go wrong or right? Because it's not about wrong or right.
It went both ways. It went wrong and right. The right part is, look where we are today. We are in another continent who loves our cultures. But the sad part is they don't know that it's cultures. They think it's one culture. That's the wrong part. Is they think it's one, right? They're like, Africa, that's one cute country. No, it's one big continent. The term Afro, which is why I'm also against it, it boxes everything into one, which then causes people to not dig deeper. For me, it does an injustice. One, we know that Africa was colonized. It's been a thing for us to always, you can't be too good. You're being too extra. You're being too this. You're being too that. Yeah. It was never, this is us. We're going to be us 120%. Not to us, but to them. Now, when we take our own culture and we dilute it, aren't we doing the same thing? That's an honest question. Aren't we doing our cultures an injustice?
Right.
By diluting it and amounting it to these few steps to identify how rich Africa is? Why can't we give Nigeria the respect it deserves? Why can't we give Ghana, give Congo the respect it deserves? South Africa is not amounted to just Amapiano. Where's the mother of a lot of these styles? Where's Pantula? There's so much that gets lost in this new era of translation. I'm glad that people are looking at us, right? But it's up to us as Africans to be able to go, okay, now you're looking at us. Let's show you how rich we really are. And yes, in resources, but also in culture, in music, in dance, how much more we have than what you're just seeing right now.
This is where I was expressing my conflicting emotion. Like, as the dancers of the culture, we are to be held accountable.
100%.
To bring these other styles forefront.
Yeah.
But then again, does it fall on me?
Everybody wants to be accepted. Nobody wants to be the black sheep. Nobody wants to be the one that creates change. We don't have enough Nelson Mandelas in the dance world. Oh, I don't want to be too different, because if they say it's not like that, then it's not like that. But who are they? They're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. It's an art and expression. African culture is an expression. The way I dance, the way my uncles dance, the way my brother would dance, to the way my mom dances is not the same. Yeah. But we connect because it's our culture. Why have our expressions as Africans as a whole amounted to 5, 6, 7 steps? That when I'm on social media, Nigerians are dancing like South Africans are dancing like Nigerians. Well, no, South Africans don't like to dance like nobody, so I'm gonna take that back. I'm saying this on a commercial platform where everybody's doing whatever's trending right now, we'll do it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But then on an education point of view, there's an issue. I'm speaking from my experience as a dancer who's been in this place for 28 years of dance, growing up and living in Africa. I'm not speaking from, I've been living in the US for like 7 years. Most of my career was in Africa, and then I came to the US and I built a career. So I'm looking at it from both point of view.
The way you're perceiving the African dance community, you made me see it from a place of how I think it's so big. It's really not that big.
It's not.
And information is not much.
Well, there is information. People are just ignorant about information that challenges their knowledge. There's a lot of information. It's Africa. We have too much information.
And how do we get access to those?
Go to Africa.
Everyone can't access Africa.
We live in the years of YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp. What's up has always been there. You know what I mean? You can contact anybody in the world right now. You can pay for private class. You can really educate yourself if you want to. But some people don't want to because it will have to have them strip everything they've put out there and start over. And that's okay. So I support that. I've done it plenty of times. Dance evolves. It evolves. And I used to be one of those people who was stuck in like it needs to be done how it was done back in the days. But now I'm learning the new school. It evolves and it's okay to not know something and for you to learn it.
You kind of made me open my eyes to like feeling like information isn't out there. It is.
It's there.
And I hope other people agree with me too, that they feel this way, that information isn't out there or easily accessed or easily found.
Right.
Because
but what kind of information are you looking for and who are you looking at it from?
You made it make sense, at least to me, because we stick to the same people. When we see these faces, those are the ones we recognize. It is a world of marketing. When you put it in the forefront enough, then the other ones go missing.
Are we looking for information or are we looking for validation? Because if you're seeking information, people are there. Most people want to be validated by somebody with a big following on Instagram. And that person might not have the knowledge for you, but because they say something, you're going to take and run with it because they have a body that follows that. As opposed to some of the best educators I know, even some of my mentors, they don't like Instagram. Seek information and seeking validation are two different things. People say information is not there because they're looking for information in their peers, in their friends. Your friends are not going to have the information you're looking for.
I agree.
When you create cliques and you're like, oh, this is my circle of friends, you can't go hang out with that person. You blocking your friend from gaining information. I have a dance company and everybody in my company, I tell them take everybody's classes. It's up to you to verify if the information I'm giving you is correct or not. In order for you to realize that you have to talk to multiple people, find different things to where you conclude your own information and you're able to be like, I'll take this, I'll leave this, I'll apply this, and I won't apply that. Usually cliques have a ringleader, the person who's the most successful, and everybody's looking out to this person for jobs or for viral videos or whatever the information is. However, this person might not be equipped to get your career started because they're good at marketing themselves, but they don't know how to do that for you. Now you're stuck and you're like, I'm not succeeding, I'm not getting this, but you're too afraid to break out of that group of circle and go to another group of circle and find something new. Somebody that your friend might dislike. This is the culture that I can't stand, and all my friends know, don't tell me not to hang out with nobody. You're enabling me. I'm gonna hang out with everybody and I'm gonna make up my mind for myself. Most people who say there's no information are usually people who stick to the same people all the time. Oh, I'm going to stay here because if I go hang out with them, then my friends are going to feel a certain way. Wow. Enablers. Challenge your thought process. Allow yourself to grow to where maybe you can even bring it back to your friends. They wonder why in that clique, there's only 2 or 3 people who have elevated and you started together, but you still on that same level where you're following these people. I love roaming alone. I have a very solid group of friends. I've had the same friends since I was in primary school. I'm in my 30s. The same friends rock with me. Some dance, some don't dance. And the ones who dance have their own careers and I support them. But however, we have completely different mindsets. And I love it. When we have debates and conversations, we agree, we disagree. It challenges me to grow. If I want to be right so bad, I'm going to go research. I challenge people to break out of the comfort zone or I can't leave this because I'm hanging out with this one, or I can't learn. You're blocking your blessings, one. We are idolizing people, which is crazy work. Do not idolize no human being walking this earth. If your friend is your friend, they shouldn't be able to control who you talk to, who you don't talk to, who you learn from, who you don't learn from. At the end of the day, you come into this world by yourself and you leave by yourself. You need to create something that leaves an impact for you. and your family and the people that love you.
Literally blocking
Enablers, blocking your blessings. It's unconsciously though. They don't know they're doing that. I've been a kid before. I hope I'm still a kid, but I was a kid. I was a kid before where I was around group of friends where I didn't know they were enabling me. I'll be like, oh, I want to go do contemporary. Why? Only these type of people do contemporary. That is trash. I said, I want to do contemporary. They'll be like, that ain't even cool. I went and did contemporary. I might not hang out with them no more, but I went and did contemporary. And guess what? I'm good at something else. And out of contemporary, I might have met somebody else like, what else do you do? Yeah. Oh, listen, I do ndombolo, I do kuduro, I know somebody who's looking for, boom. And that chain starts. You know what I mean? Just from breaking away from that person telling you, I don't think you should do this, or I don't think you should go there.
This is really like deeper than just dance. It's about
way deeper
as a human being and as an individual. Being able to know your source. And it's important the source that you're getting information from. Because it impacts your future.
But you're knowing your source, but also challenging your source. And that's the part I feel like bothers a lot of people, because nowadays when you ask why, you're seen as problematic. My dance mentor, I asked him why every time. I challenged everything he said to me, because you know what? I needed him to go in depth with what he's teaching me. And if he couldn't, I'm going to go research why he said what he said, which forced me to go deeper. It's okay to challenge people. It's okay to understand that, yes, this might be correct, but it might be even more correct or even wrong if I went to somewhere else or searched somewhere else. But a lot of people are too afraid of that. Again,
to seek knowledge.
We're all too afraid to seek knowledge, but at the end of the day, humility is really key. Yes, I can speak with confidence or whatever, but when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I really have a conversation with that person, because I look for what I can learn in what you're saying to me.
Absolutely.
I know I'm not good at everything. I know what my strengths are, but I also know I'm not good at everything, but also humble enough to know that God can take all that away tomorrow.
And I hope this is able to sit with someone.
I feel like this will sit with who wants to sit with it. Yeah. Through our stages of lives, we receive things differently. Somebody might be defensive and they might be receiving this as like, how dare she? It's not for them. Somebody might be receiving this as like, hold on, let me go research for myself because I need to check this. And I love that. Somebody else might be receiving it as like, this is what I needed to take that extra step. And that's okay. Like I said, it reaches whoever it needs to reach, whoever wants to challenge it, whoever. I love it all. I welcome it all, because that's part of being a human being. That's part of being an artist.
And that helps all of us grow.
All of us grow, because I would love somebody to send me a DM and be like, hey, I know you said this and this, but this is what I think about it. Please open my mind up to something new. I will love you. Open my mind up to something new.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the conversation we had about home. In that conversation, I learned that home can also mean something emotional for people.
100%.
Because that's an identity. How they remember who they are, how they remember where they come from, and all their walks of life. It's easy for some of us to get stuck in our own version of the world. It is wise to sometimes take a moment and see how somebody else might have experienced something and just learn from that too. Yeah.
I feel like it's so big. And also I feel like as Africans, especially, let's stop allowing non-Africans to make rules or have a say in how we express ourselves or how we market ourselves or what goes and what doesn't go.
Please go
beyond that. Lot of us do that for a paycheck.
Explain that.
For paycheck or clout. For example, there are people teaching. There's a few things that happen. I watch everything. I don't feel the need to always say something because, again, if you're not African, you're a visitor. Does your visitor come to your house and tell you how to wash the dishes?
No.
Thank you. I'm going to leave it at that. If you're not African and you are a visitor, I don't care where you're from, whether you are from Europe or you're from any Caribbean country, you're not African. You do not have a say in how African dance is done, who does it, how they do it. You do not get to, because you know what it is, right? I'm seeing a lot of non-Africans watch Africans dance and be like, oh, that's not Afro dance. Another issue I have with this Afro dance. Africa is not amount to steps. It's expression. It's culture, it's lifestyle. However, an African person chooses, right? Mind you, a lot of our dance textures come from our lifestyle, which the way we eat, all that stuff, the way our parents are like, je vais te gifler. We add those things to our dance. A non-African won't understand that. Yeah. But what if somebody decides to be like, je vais te gifler? Is it wrong if they're African?
No.
Thank you. That's all I want to say. Let's give African people the respect to express themselves beyond what they call okay. Once we do that, we will stop having everybody look the same.
Why do you think that is?
Everybody wants to go viral. Some of them do want a career, but they think going viral is a career. Now, there's two different lanes in that.
Please, yes.
I'm not necessarily Instagram famous, but I have a phenomenal career. That's been 28 years. I don't work a day job. I'm a full-time dancer. Praise God. Yeah. There are dancers with 500K to 1 million followers who are broke, who still live with their parents. That's not a career. A career is something that is able to bring you revenue, bring you profit. You're able to live from. Well, African parents like to call it your hobby. I don't want to call nobody's hobby, right? Whatever you choose, just understand the difference in those two things. And for some people, they have the blessing of having both. But most of the time, what you see is not necessarily what you get. I say this to say, learning that when you're chasing a career, it requires deeper understanding of the culture, of the style, because what you want is longevity, right? When you're chasing the fame and the Instagram fame, do the trendy stuff, do the challenges. But however, 20 years down the line, the same challenges are not going to apply. Are you going to live your whole life? Are you going to be 50 years old still doing TikTok challenges? Yes, hopefully you've made millions and you can chill, but it's two different lanes.
No, I believe that a lot of dancers don't have guidance. They aren't aware of what else they could do with dance.
Yeah.
Everybody believes it's just social media that they can do. And social media brings the gigs. We talked about going into fashion. You could be a dancer in fashion.
100%.
It's not just the artist.
Yeah.
There are other sources. So what are some examples?
One of my biggest things, I think what really helped my career is I don't market my dancing to dancers.
Got it.
I'm going to go to somebody else who has a need for what I do. I'm going to go to agencies. Listen, y'all need a choreographer? I work with Fashion Week, certain designers. You need runway models to do this and that. I go to companies, whether it be end of year party. Alvin Ailey actually took me to Yale University. I'm a dancer. I went to Yale to go educate nurses about the importance of dance, African dance as in general, right? African dance, how important that is for your cardiovascular. Excuse me? You know what I mean? Right, I'm getting that part. So marketing your work to other companies, because there's always a need for dance. Once people start thinking that way, it expands your network. Because now you're not looking at social. I don't look at social media. I have to post because I have classes, but I'm not really on there. My personal connections, events, different things that could make my career bigger, as opposed to my career being catered to musicians and dancers only, because musicians come and go, dancers come and go. What stays there? Go to companies, stable companies, campaigns, commercials, things that are just bigger than what we are right now. So
just to wrap it up, I am very interested in knowing, and I hope they can hear you too. What stamp would you like to leave as Judith?
Judith.
Judith.
If I were to leave a stamp as me, would be true to who you are and be so grounded, but also be flexible in the way that you challenge yourself to grow, and you're always seeking growth. You're always, how do I say, unapologetically yourself, but also be okay with knowing that you don't know everything. But however, I'm going to step and take whatever step that you need to take, whether it's going to shake you up, but if it's going to bring you to growth, take it all.